Please note that not every prophetic message that I share on this channel is meant for everybody, so it's important that you have a relationship with the Holy Spirit and take it back to Him and ask Him to give you the confirmation that you need before you run with the message. And for some of you, I know that this is going to be a confirming message because the Lord has already been speaking to you about this. And if that's the case and you have any questions, please make sure to take all those questions back to Him because He will have the answers for you. Hi friends, it's Queen Alita. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. I have a word to share with you guys. It's based on a dream that I had on March 22nd, 2022. Let me just get into the dream. So in this dream, there was a wedding, all right? So this couple got married, and I remember there being like this big party, just a big celebration, right, of this marriage. And the sense I got was that they had been issues before they got married, and by the time this wedding happened, there were some things that needed to have been resolved. They seemed to have gone through some kind of issue, whether it was a separation or, just things were not coming together very well initially. And eventually they got it together, they got married. And in this dream, I remember seeing them. They were in this beautiful apartment or house or whatever it was, in their bedroom, in that intimate space. And they were just spending quality time together, really connecting. And then the scene kind of switches to where the woman is actually doing she's speaking on one of her social media platforms. So she's got her camera up, her social media, and she's got that social media platform going, and she's speaking. But the way that I was seeing the dream, because I was observing, I could see how the camera panned all the way up and down. It almost just wanted to give this full view of the bedroom. So it wasn't just her, it was everything in the background. So I could see her husband. He was just laying on the bed, just relaxing, but you could see the whole room, you could see everything. And obviously it wasn't supposed to all be exposed like that, right? And then in the next scene, I saw a very similar thing, but instead it felt like the past. It felt like this is something that had already happened. And instead of the woman, I saw a witch. It was an older woman who seemed like a witch. I could feel the energy that she had. It was very negative, very evil. She was the one doing a video, and the camera did the same thing and panned across the whole room. And again, I could see that woman's husband just laying on the bed relaxing, but you could see the whole room. And that's when the dream ended, right? So like I said, I had this dream a while back in March, and it came back to mind while I was sleeping. In the middle of my sleep, I was just kind of like in between dreams, and this dream came back to my mind, and I knew exactly what the message was in that moment. I felt God was speaking to me, and He was saying, this is the one that you need to speak on today, and this is the message, right? So what is God saying to us through this dream? I'm just gonna read my notes. I don't want to be here long today, because it's a very simple message, but I think that sometimes it's easier to say the message, it's easier to receive it, but then when it comes to putting it into practice, it becomes difficult because of how we live, because of the world we live in today. Social media is rife. Everybody's putting everything out there, right? So the Lord is basically saying to you through this video, to those who this word is for, you may have found yourself in a situation, or you have found yourself in a situation where there's been a certain relationship in your life, and I have a very strong sense of romantic relationships, marriages, because that's what was depicted in the dream. And you've really had to kind of like contend for this marriage, for this particular union, and there were issues before, but the Lord has either brought it all together and you've been able to unite with your spouse, or for some of you, God is saying He's about to do this. He's about to bring you together with your kingdom spouse. You know who they are because there's a history. In the beginning of the dream, I could feel that there was a history there, that they had issues, and them having that wedding was finally overcoming was them finally overcoming those issues and finally getting it together. So this is for those of you who know who your kingdom spouse is. You've had issues, stuff has tried to come between you, there may have been separation, whatever, just maybe not good communication or whatever the case may be. But God is saying to some of you today that he is bringing that, He's going to bring you guys together. For some of you, it's already happened, right? And the main message here is not about bringing you guys together, because that's already done, right? For those of you who are still waiting for God to deal with all those issues, it's already done. What the Lord wants you to know right now is you have to be careful what you put out there. You have to protect what God has given you. I wrote here, you need to protect and nurture what Abba gave you, and you need to do it in the right way, right? There are people who are waiting to bring destruction, and these people have done this before. That link with the woman at the end of the dream, the one that felt evil, felt like a witch, she links to the beginning of the dream where they had issues before. And what the Lord was showing me is that there are people who are going to keep trying because they've done it before and they felt they succeeded before, but obviously they didn't, because God is bringing things back together, or he's brought things back together for you. But they have this feeling of being invincible, like they can do whatever they want, but the only reason that they can is because they have access to your life by what you put out there. When you put stuff out there, it's an invitation into your life. You're saying, hey, look at my life. This is what I have going on. So you're drawing attention to your life. And in that scene where the young woman was doing this, whatever she was doing, speaking into her social media outlets, the whole room was seen. This intimate space that she was sharing with her husband was seen. So what God was showing me is that, a lot of people like to put their lives out there. You like to put all these intimate details about your life out there, and you don't realize that the enemy attacks because of this. He uses people to attack you through this, right? He has his vessels that he likes to use, and he will use those people to attack you because they have all this information about you, because you're giving it to them. It's like an open invitation to have a look at my life, because, oh, look, I'm having this wonderful time. And it really stems from vanity. It stems from like self-centeredness. Why do people need to see your life? Why do you feel a need to put all of that out there? And I know that there's this pull to do it, because I felt the pull before, like, oh, let me just maybe share this picture or that picture. The Lord is saying, be very careful what you're putting out there, because you're giving people access to seeing, and they're gathering information about you. And with that information, it's almost like a doorway that they can use to attack you, to bring destruction. And the sense I got in the beginning of the dream was, there had been issues, and now they got it together, and the last thing they needed was for that to happen again. All right, so God is saying, in order to avoid those issues that you had initially, you have to protect and nurture what he's given you. Stop putting stuff out there. Yes, you can have your social media platforms if God is calling you to do stuff on there. If you have a business, or whatever, there are things. I believe that social media has a place, that it can be used in the right way. I don't believe that it should be used to show off, because that's a gateway. Even just that spirit of showing off, look at me, look at my life, look at what I have, that is not of God in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because what is the real motive? Why are you putting stuff out there? That's the gateway. That's what the enemy uses to bring destruction into your personal life. Okay, the bedroom in a dream represents that intimate personal space, and too many of you are exposing that areas of your life that really need to remain private. For those of you who this word is for, you need to understand that God is rebuilding what the enemy tried to break down, what he tried to destroy. He's bringing back those connections, specifically, like I said, with marriages, kingdom marriages. So God is wanting you to keep it very sacred because of what he wants to do. You've gone through the delays. You've gone through so much because of opening stuff up, and the enemy was able to infiltrate. He's saying now you've learned your lesson. Keep it private, because this is a time to rebuild. This is a time to restore what the enemy tried to take from you. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 7 says, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be quiet and a time to speak. Right? So I believe what's even dropping in my spirit is that when it says a time to tear and a time to mend, you are tearing down what the enemy tried to build in your life. That house of cards where he was just trying to destroy your life, you're tearing it down and you are mending. Or at least let me say, God is mending what the enemy was trying to tear down as well. So he's using you. He needs you to be that vessel to tear down and to mend, right? And also it spoke about a time to be quiet and a time to speak. It is definitely a time right now in your situation to be quiet, to just be private, okay? There is a time when you can share stuff, when you can speak, and even then it's not to say, okay, this is the green light, let's go back into social media and show off the life. Just don't do that. Don't do that. God will always guide you on what you need to speak and what you need to share. But trust me, this showing off and wanting people to see this great life that you have, that is a doorway, because it's not coming from a right place in your heart. You have to search your heart, okay? So that is the word for today. Friends, I really pray it's blessed you. And I will see you in the next video. Always remember that God is a good Father. He loves you so much because you, my friend, are so deeply special to him.